No, that's okay. I'm fine. Okay, so we just started recording. So what I was talking about was how close we are to the rest of the Netherlands, and also, you know, if you wanted to travel. So the airport is really like under 30 minutes away. So you could, you know, a lot of students book cheap tickets to travel to Germany or London, or, you know, even Ibiza, wherever you feel, you know, you want to make, you know, travel and make your plans. Like, we're so close, especially to other big cities in Europe. So within Leiden, within the Netherlands, we're only about half hour away from Amsterdam, 20 minutes from The Hague. So it's a really great location. I mentioned earlier that transportation, the country has a great public transportation system with, you know, trains, trams, buses, and of course, most people ride bicycles. So I feel as though we're actually one of the best locations as far as Webster study abroad locations go. Now, that said, also with the language, you know, all of our programs and the whole Webster Leiden is run, the study abroad programs are run in English. However, in Leiden, you'll find, in the whole of Netherlands, that people really like to speak English. So they have no problem with answering you. It's great to learn a couple, you know, key words while you're here and to be polite and respectful. But if you would ask if you may speak English, or, you know, is it all right? Most people will right away say, oh, gee, my English isn't so good, but sure. And their English is, like, you know, even 10 times better than my Dutch after 20 years, you know, so it's really fabulous. They make it convenient, and it's a safe city, so you don't have to worry, like, if you're out at night. Of course, we always recommend, you know, staying safe and being in groups and that, but you do not find like a lot of criminal activity or anything that you would have to worry about, like when you're out and about in Leiden. That goes for in the Netherlands in general. You'll see that it's a pretty safe country. The weather, well, if you're coming in spring, you're going to come in right after the winter holidays. So things are a little bit gray in February, but come March and April, things start to, you know, the sun starts to shine, and it does shine in the Netherlands, although we do get our share of rain. And it can be really nice. So our campus is right on the canal. You have windmills all around us. It's really a really pleasant location, and weather-wise, I think that makes up for the rain that you would have. We also, you know, say that if you wait 5-10 minutes, the weather changes. So you can walk out of your house and it would be rainy in the morning, but by, you know, lunchtime, the sun is shining, and you could sit on, you know, one of the terraces. I'm sorry, cafe, restaurant. Yeah. For those who just joined, hi, Christine, student services from the Leiden campus. And I have with me one of our, the vice president of our student government association, Moni. She is also here to answer any questions. We had to, I'm happy to show a little bit. Yeah, it's nice to show both of us. So we're just talking about the location and, well, weather, the transportation system. Also, you know, Leiden is a college town, so Leiden University is here. So you're going to see a lot of organizations, whether it's on campus in Leiden or, you know, out and about with the other universities. There's a lot of pubs and restaurants around the location. We have a lot of like international student clubs that open up and have, like, you know, parties, dances, that kind of thing. There's a lot of government, of course, is in The Hague and Amsterdam. So if you're coming as an IR student, or, you know, are interested in law, it's a great location for that. Go to my next slide. Here's a little bit of what we look like. Our campus is small, but it's a really beautiful location right on the canal. The building, if you look at the top, I guess it would be your top left, the the main building in front of the boat is our campus, and then to the farther out in the distance on the right side, that would be your Living and Learning Center. So the front facade is not, but as you would move along, like right behind that building would be our Living and Learning Center. So yeah, it's a great location. We have a lot of museums. We're considered one of the having the most museums in the Netherlands, the city. We have about 15 in Leiden, so you really don't have to go far. I mean, we have our own Rijksmuseum, which everyone knows, very famous in Amsterdam, but you know, if you want, you can really stay and see a lot of things right here in Leiden. Does anybody have any questions? Aside from academics, of course, we have a lot of clubs on campus. So our student experience is pretty vast. The Student Government Association is very involved, and they do events and organize parties and even like academic events as well, but they really take into consideration the social life of the students. Now, that said, everything has been, you know, on hold for the last about year and a half. So no one is, you know, prepared, and we're not even sure what will happen on campus specifically. But already we have events such as the Red Card campaign, which is also part of Webster University as a whole. We have Making Therapy Work. I'm sorry?
Back to school party.
Yep, we have our back to school party. So that's October, kick off October with us. We're having, you know, wraps with a cocktail bar on campus, and there'll be music, karaoke, and also a music trivia game that night. And then we have a soccer team. So our sports club sponsors the soccer team. In spring, the soccer team always goes and participates in a international competition with Vienna and Geneva. So there we have a student, Webster's Got Talent, the soccer game, and the another Student Government Association presentation and joint venture during that weekend. We have an IR club, business clubs, all the basics. Green Web is our environmental association, and psychology association also with the BSS department. So we're really kind of happy. Book clubs thriving. There's a lot of things to do on campus. I support Webster Leeds. So if you're a student that's in the Webster Leeds program, whether it's St. Louis or at one of the other campuses, we can give you credit for some of the events and taking the classes here, that kind of thing. This, I'll stop sharing for a second. Academics, this spring, we're offering a high impact program at the International Relations program. So if you choose 2 out of the 3 international relations courses, you will be given a 25% discount in housing, as well as the Leiden cultural package. I'm going to bring up my poster. I have a flyer, just a second. Oh, there we go. All right, so the International Relations High Impact Program, it's a hands-on program, so the students will choose 2 courses. Now, the IR department is offering these courses next spring. So we have topics in mass violence. We also have the MUN, Models of the United Nations course. So that course will lead right into our the Model United Nations conference. So we have a conference on campus, so it'll be a hybrid, both online and face-to-face on campus. And we also have international law, the world systems, and another new course is early modern Europe. These courses all come with different types of field trips. And if I go, field trips could be the National Museum, the American Embassy, or another embassy, because we have all of them in The Hague. It's a great location for international relations students. You're also up, because you only have to take 2 out of these, your options for your other 2 classes are vast. So we have general elective courses, we have psychology courses, as well as a lot of business being offered. If you're here not for spring, but you're looking at summer, we're going to be offering the Summer 2022 Impact Program. And we're focusing on 2 courses that are GCPs. That's the Keys course, Art and Social Engagement, as well as Topics and Culture. So my flyer is not complete, but this gives you a little bit of an idea. The Keys course, we'll talk about art and culture and media and how that impacts our world, as well as Topics and Culture will be a course that really compares the Dutch culture to your own. So whether you're, an American or Italian or from, Africa, the courses, but all cultures are different. And so this course will really go through and really compare, and we're going to get you out in the field. So we're going to be field trips that will take you out into Amsterdam, a bicycle tour, which is really kind of fun, that will go around Vondel Park. They'll do the Jorlaan district where the Anne Frank house is. And then we'll also visit the gardens, the canal houses. So those are hofjes, which are little secret gardens within any city really in the Netherlands. There's a lot of hofjes in Leiden, and that's a tour in itself really, but they'll be visiting the gardens on the Open Garden Day in Amsterdam. All right, anyone have any questions? Or Tyler, do you have something that you'd like to ask and maybe I can elaborate?
Yeah, I maybe have a question for Moni, if that's okay.
Sure.
Do you just want to talk for maybe a second from a student perspective in Leiden? Like what kind of things are you involved in on campus? What are your classes like? What's your favorite part about being a student in Leiden?
Okay, thank you for the question though. I think it's great to be a student here in Leiden because after class, it's really easy to get into a cafe, just jump there and then have a drink with other friends. And here classes are really international. So you can come to class and see somebody that comes from the same country, or you can see somebody that comes from another continent and everything. Same for the professors, it's very international. So it's kind of great because at least, and small classes as well. So 12 to 15 students. So it's easy for the professor to take care of every student. And also from, you can see everything that the professor explains from a different perspective, because different culture, different perspectives. So, yeah, that's what it is like. I hope that answers your question.
Do you have a favorite instructor?
Yeah, I do have a favorite instructor. Her name is Sukai Se. She is an international management professor. Yeah, she's been working with Domino's, Shell, studied in Harvard. She's great. And like her class is more about practical life, like what happened in real life, than just copying stuff and then just do exams. So for example, when you have a presentation, you present on stuff that happened really, like stuff that happened in real life, instead of just going around in Google and then just copy paste everything.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
Another question?
Maybe go ahead and I'm going to